Okay, in previous videos, we talked about how to set up Wi-Fi connection and how to set up remote desktop so that you can work on your Raspberry Pi without connecting it to a monitor. And in this video, I will assume you have successfully completed these steps, these earlier steps in previous videos, and you are able to start your Raspberry Pi and you are able to start the remote desktop. In this video, I'm going to spend some time talking about the actual programming on Raspberry Pi, how to build a voice-controlled system. To start with, we need to register your Raspberry Pi system so that it is capable of receiving messages from the cloud. So with this preloaded SD card, it is actually quite simple. Please follow my steps. First, let's go to the bottom of the taskbar. Click this black icon, the terminal. Okay, in the terminal, type in device registration.sh. Okay, then enter. Okay, a bunch of messages are populated. So as long as you have the last message that says registration successful, you are good to go. Your system is now registered, is able to receive cloud messages. Now you can actually close this window. Then let's get started with the Node-RED programming environment. So what you do is you go to the bottom of the screen, click the red icon that says Node-RED. Okay, wait for it to start. It takes probably about 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, now you can minimize this one and open the browser. Okay, once you open the browser, you hit the shortcut here that says Node-RED. If it's the first time you use the environment, you probably get an empty editing area. That's okay, we'll add stuff into it. Now let's add more blocks to the diagram. To begin with, let's add one critical piece of the block. Go to the new tab, type in rainy body.net. Okay, hit enter and go to learn and enjoy. Go to the first lesson, then scroll down to step 4 and go find the import cloud message receiver to the flowchart, then hit the link here. Okay, on this page what you do is select the contents from the beginning to the end, then do a copy. Okay, then you go back to the Node-RED tab, you do one thing, hit the menu from the top right corner, do a import from clipboard. Okay, now on this page you right click, do a paste, or you can do Ctrl V as well. Okay, now you hit the import. So now you can move your mouse to place this block to to the anywhere in this diagram, but I prefer you place it to the top left corner. Okay, now let's hit the deploy button. So you can see there's a message saying connected for this block. That means you're good to go. Your block is working. You are ready to receive messages from the cloud. Okay, now let's keep working on this diagram. So the next block we're going to add to the diagram is called a JSON block. Let's go find it under the category of function. Let's scroll down to the bottom until you find this block. The name is JSON. So drag and drop it here. You connect the end of the first diagram to the head of the second diagram. Then you double click this guy, give it a name for your own information. I'll just say change to JS object. Then you choose the action to be always convert to JavaScript object. Okay, then you hit done. Then to save all the changes you just made, click deploy. Next, let's add some selection logic to the diagram. Go to the function category, scroll down, go find the switch block, drag and drop it here. Again, connect the end to the head, line it up, then double click. Okay, first we can give it a name. Let's say check action. Okay, hit down. Okay, first condition is equal to. Let's pick the type as string. Equals to turn on light. Here, pay attention. This is case sensitive, so you must type in the case properly. It's capitalized T, capitalized O, and capitalized L. Okay, so let's add one more condition. So hit the add button here, small button, but should be able to find it. Click here, add the second condition to be check the string equals to turn off light. So, but next question is which part of the message you need to check against. So it's the payload action. Okay, double check. Okay, should be fine now. Click down button. Then you hit the deploy button for the changes to take effect. You probably noticed there are two output ports at the end of this block. That's correct, because these two ports correspond to the two conditions inside this box, the turn on light and turn off light. So each condition will trigger action down the stream. Okay, so let's keep adding actions. Let's go to the function category again. Go find the trigger block, drag and drop it here. Okay, let's make sure this is the first condition. Okay, let's connect the first port to the beginning of this block. Okay, then double click. Again, let's give it a name first. This name is only for your own information. It doesn't really affect the logic, but for your own information, you can give it a name that's meaningful. Right now, let's call it send 1, because we're going to send the number 1 through this block. So this is to send. Let's make sure it's number 1. Then wait for 250 milliseconds. But here, make sure you choose. Then send change it to nothing because we only wanted to send the message once, no more than that. Okay, let's double check. Everything should be good now. Okay, let's hit done. Okay, let's add another similar block. So drag and drop the trigger block to here. Double click. This one, let's call it send 0. And we send the number of 0 in this block. Then change this one to nothing. Okay, again, let's hit done. Let me just line it up so that looks prettier. So for the second block, we need to connect the second port to its beginning. Okay, now let's hit the deploy. Now let's add the last block we need for this diagram. Go to the another category, which is kind of at the bottom of the categories. There is a dedicated group for Raspberry Pi. So okay, let's go find the RPI GPIO. You pay attention, it's not the first one. The first one is input. The second one is the output. We want the output one. Okay, drag and drop the second block in this category to your diagram behind these two blocks. Okay, now you can connect the end of this one to the beginning of this one, and the end of this one to the beginning of this one as well. Okay, now double click the pin block. Okay, go to the GPIO 17-11. This is the pin number and this is the pin name. So the pin name is GPIO 17. It's the number 11 pin on the GPIO. So basically, this is the pin we're going to use to control the LED, control the status of the LED, whether it's on or off, because that's just the way we wire the system. So click here, pick the number 11 pin, which is GPIO 17, then scroll down a little bit. Make sure here it says digital output. Then you check the initialize pin state and make sure it's initialized to low, which means 0, which means the off state of the LED. Okay, so this is good. Now let's give it a name. Again, this is for your own information, but let's say LED on breadboard. Okay, hit down, then hit deploy. At this moment, we're pretty much done with the block diagram. When I say pretty much, I meant we have all the blocks that's needed for the functionality of the control system. That's all that's needed. But we might just add one more block for our purpose of debugging and tracking the messages. We can go to the output category, go find the debug block. Okay, drag and drop it to the here. Okay, actually, let's move things a little bit. So let's move these three blocks to a later position, and let's move the message block here, because we wanted to show the message coming out of this block so that we know what messages we receive from the cloud. then let's hit deploy. Okay, now we are really done with the diagram. Let's do a quick check, see if we can receive messages from the cloud and from the voice control. First off, let's hit the debug messages button so that we can actually see the messages coming from the coming out of this debug block. Okay, now I'm going to start my Amazon Alexa app from my cell phone. I'm going to send a voice message to the skill, and we should be able to receive some message from the cloud. Let's see if that happens. Okay. Start wizard team.
Hi, I am the wizard team.
Turn on the light.
Your light is turned on. Let me know what else I can do for you.
Turn off the light.
Your light is turned off. Let me know what else I can do for you.
Yep, it's a successful test. So basically we can see there are two messages we received from the cloud according to my voice control command. One of them is the action of turn on light, and the other one is the action of turn off the light. And this part, the UID part, is just a identifier of your own identity. Basically it's telling you who is sending the voice control message. Okay. So far we have completed all the programming on the Raspberry Pi. But for you to be able to control your IoT system, you need one more step. That is to enable the Alexa skill on your mobile phone. First off, you need to install the Alexa app on your mobile device. Then you need to enable the specific skill to send the message to the cloud. For that purpose, please go to next step in the same lesson, which is the topic about how to enable the Alexa skill on your mobile device. Keep reading that instruction. You should be able to finish that in just about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day.